Hi everyone, this is Anthony O'Flynn coming to you live from the Sunshine Coast. I'm at Alexandra Headland. It's one of the best views of the whole coast actually behind me. Get a really sweeping view going north to Mount Coolum. Yeah, magical place to live. Magical, really is. So, Happy New Year everybody. 2021, here we are. And it's coming off the back of quite a wild ride in 2020. I guess nothing more needs to be said about that. But I guess there's also a lot to process, take in and integrate for the way forward. And it's really quite a incredible time to be alive and an incredible time to be here on the planet with this ongoing planetary paradigm shift really starting to change gears, as we saw from the events of 2020. And really this message this afternoon is a message of hope for humanity and for particularly the awakening community who's perhaps felt a bit despondent from the end of 2020, and rightly so. But the truth is that the events of 2020 have really created the foundation, the platform for a much deeper shift in the context of wider support from the global population. And this does not seem apparent perhaps at the moment, but this will continue to gain rapid momentum as we move forward throughout 2021. And the real takeaway points from this are that the light is destabilizing the dark, and that is why so much is coming to the surface, so much is being revealed, and so much is being examined and irrefutably. It's no longer some wild fringe conspiracy of the global socialist agenda anymore. I hope the wind is okay, it's not too windy with the sound. And this is going mainstream rapidly, day by day, literally. And look, if you're still one of those people who really are, if you're watching this and you really are believing everything that you are seeing on the news, the mainstream media, but you're starting to question the official narrative, it's totally okay to admit you're wrong. It really is, because the conditioning, the mind control, the propaganda is extremely sophisticated, and it's coming at you from all angles. And it really has been really since birth. I mean, there's a whole body of knowledge and information about that as well to look back on in regards to your birth certificate and all those other sort of foundations and principles of control and indoctrination. It really is quite profound. And all of that's okay. The real point to integrate here is that if you're sitting on the fence or you're not sure, it's totally okay to admit that you got it wrong, and that you really want to start to look into what's really going on and understand the truth of this matrix that we're living in, whatever term or analogy you want to give to it. It really makes no difference. It's the society as we know it, and how it's controlled, regulated, and all the founding institutions, everything from the government to the medical organisations, everything. It is a completely controlled system. And the faster that you realise that, the faster that we're going to get this planetary shift really underway to create some systemic change and give birth to a new paradigm. And it's really caused a lot of tension in 2020 with friendships, with people having disagreements, not understanding each other, in families, friends, colleagues, all kinds of things. And this is going to continue, and it's also going to deepen, because the 3D, 5D split is really underway now, and we're seeing in 2020 the first tangible evidence of that occurring, with people being really revealed as to where they are at a soul level. And there's some people who are more mature, who are more prepared to look into things, who are prepared to take responsibility for their life and to be a voice for change. And there's other people that are really at still a very immature phase, where they're really looking for the government to take care of them, to keep them safe, and believing everything they're seeing in the media. Now, the potential for people in this second category to awaken, to mature and to grow, it's still there. And I, for one, am not abandoning anybody who has been drinking the Kool-Aid, who is simply unable to process the reality of what is occurring, particularly the events of 2020. That's all fine. The point is here is that it's really important to be able to start to go on this journey of maturity and of awakening, and not really be too concerned if you don't have the answers to all the questions. Simply, the point is just to start questioning and to start analysing, and not just taking what you're told in the media and by the government as being gospel, as being the truth. The mainstream media have been revealed with the inconsistencies in their reports, in their articles, repeatedly in 2020. That is simply 100% a lie. And you're going to see this next week in Washington, DC, this to be exposed at a whole new level there. And that's going to be quite shocking for a lot of people to see the outcome of much of the work that's going on behind the scenes in regards to the US presidential election. And really, this split we're going to see intensify and become more profound and more clear in 2021 and moving forward. But that doesn't mean that people cannot change the trajectory of their destiny, cannot start to embody the higher frequencies, because when we talk about the split of the 3D, 5D consciousness, that's just the effects. And we can see that the effects is, for some people, they act like children when someone has a different point of view about a social, political, economic, environmental issue to them. They have basically a meltdown that other people in their life, whether they're friends, colleagues, family, are questioning the official narrative. Well, there's a reason for that. And you have to question the real reason as to why someone would be sharing information, having these views in the first place. If they're not making an income out of it, they're not getting paid, they have no vested interest, then you have to actually ask yourself, then what is actually the point of doing this? What do they hope to gain? And if you actually look beyond that and actually talk to people at a deeper level, you'll see that they actually have quite noble interests and are actually looking and hoping for a better future, which we all are. But the problem is that the people who are indoctrinated into the mainstream, a mainstream media official narrative, they're looking for the government to save them. They're looking for the government to look after their interests. I don't know what more it will need to be revealed for people to understand that that's just not occurring. It's not occurring here in Australia, the events we've seen over the New Year, Christmas period, and it's definitely not occurring in many other countries around the world. And with that, it's really important to understand, if you're on the awakening journey, that it's okay to let go of people who are not going to be able to integrate the new frequencies. It's just a fact of what is occurring, and it will be difficult, it will be painful, and it will be a process of letting go as much as a process of welcoming in the new people to your life, the new friendships, the new colleagues, the new intimate relationships, the new business ventures, the new collaborations, all of that. So the faster that people can integrate this in their understanding and their awareness and start to move forward, then there won't be such a big form of suffering as to where this is going. And again, this is simply the effect. The causal level is, simply put, that the subtle reality of this planet is changing. It is changing, and it is changing, at least for this cycle, permanently. And it will not be going back to how things were before. There will be upheaval in 2021 like we have never seen before. The key astrological configuration of 2021 is the square between Uranus and Saturn, which I won't go into in this video, but the first one of those is actually in February, and the overall astrology for January 2021 is incredibly intense, and it's going to be quite interesting to see how all of that plays out. So the cause, at the level of causality, because when we understand the cause, we can then automatically understand the effect, is that the subtle reality on this planet is changing. And this is what is the most important aspect of this shift with this split, is the spiritual integration of the of the frequencies, the higher frequencies. And this is really generating the true awakening for people, the true spiritual evolution. And this is where some people are getting unhinged and unstuck, is because they're not able at this point to integrate this energy and these frequencies of vibration. And this will actually be ongoing, and there will be spikes in this. There's already been major spikes in the transformation of the subtle reality really since 2012, even including 2012, which was actually directly related to the end of the long count of the Mayan calendar. So this is going to be the way forward for life on planet Earth, and it will be an exciting journey, but it's going to be one that's going to take all of us out of our comfort zone, and all of us are going to be in the right place at the right time for our highest good and for the evolution of our soul. So I wish all of you all the best for 2021, and yeah, I'll be giving more updates as the year goes on. It's going to be an absolutely spectacular year to be here, and I think it's really important to be resilient, to be optimistic, to be positive, to be compassionate for other people who are suffering in this journey and who are not really getting what's going on at this point. I'm still very optimistic there's going to be a massive wave of awakening in 2021 and onwards, but this game is only really just getting going. So stay tuned, there's plenty more to come. So happy New Year everybody, and I'll give you a shot from the Sunshine Coast. We live in epic times.